Hi everyone, welcome to Thorough Newspaper Analysis. This is the video for the 29th of May 2024. Now let's proceed and have a look at the pointers of discussion for the day. So as far as the agenda for the day is concerned, first of all, in the editorial segment, we have an Indian Express article to discuss. This article essentially talks about the reversal of conviction of Gurmeet Ram Rahim, DSS chief, in a murder case. And we'll understand why, despite being acquitted, because his conviction was reversed by the Punjab and Haryana High Court. So essentially, he's been acquitted. He's now free. He is still, however, behind the bars. So why is that? The reason here, please understand, is because of other convictions against him in two other cases, which go back to 2017 and 2019. Secondly, we talk about the news updates, and this is going to be followed by the last segment of legal news. So let's start with the article. The title of the same is Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh's murder conviction has been set aside. Why is he behind bars or in prison? So from the heading itself, we can jot down that his conviction has been reversed and he's still in prison. So there is a reason to it. Now at the outset, let's understand the context. Please understand yesterday, which is on 28th of May, the Honorable High Court of Punjab and Haryana acquitted DSS chief. DSS here stands for Dera Sacha Sauda. So the chief of DSS, Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh, his conviction in a 2002 murder case was reversed by the High Court of Punjab and Haryana. Despite the reversal of Ram Rahim's 2021 conviction in this 2002 case, he will remain imprisoned in a jail in Rohtak, Haryana. And the reason here is because of convictions in two other criminal cases. Now, please understand, in this entire article, we'll talk about four cases. The first case is with respect to murder of Dera manager Ranjit Singh. The murder took place in 2002. And following the investigation by CBI and eventually the trial by Special Judge CBI, he was convicted in 2021. And now, 4 years later, his conviction has been reversed by High Court of Punjab and Haryana. So far as the remedy up to High Court is concerned in appeal, this is the current position, that he is a free person so far as this murder of 2002 and the conviction of 2021 is concerned. So this was the first case. I hope we are clear with the first case. And now let's move to the second case. Second case, it is about the alleged rapes of multiple sadhvis, but rape on 2 counts of 2 sadhvis was proved, and eventually in August of 2017 he was convicted of 2 counts of rape. And the third case goes back to 2019 when the conviction was given to him in 2019. This is for the murder of a journalist by the name of Ramchandra Chhatrapati. The Dera chief, he filed an appeal in the High Court against both of these decisions, and the appeal, I believe, is yet to be decided. Yes, the appeal is yet to be decided. So we'll have to see what the High Court has to say in both of these convictions. It will be an interesting point for us to see whether the High Court sustains his conviction in the 2017 and 2019 matter, or will the High Court, reverse the conviction and eventually acquit him. Now, the fourth case against him, the investigation in this case is still going on by the CBI. This is about the alleged compelling of around 400 of his male followers to receive castration, that is removal of their genitals based on false promises that, if you do so, you'll be pleasing the Lord, the God, and you will sustain some divine favors. So I hope we're clear with all these 4 cases. First is with respect to the murder of the Dera manager Ranjit Singh, goes back to 2002. Then conviction was given in 2021, and now on 28th of May, High Court has reversed the conviction. Then other case is of 2 counts of rape. Conviction was given in August 2017. 2 years later, conviction was given for the murder of a journalist, and these appeals against both of these cases, they are still pending for the High Court. And fourth is about the investigation is going on here. Now, this reminds me of 2017. I was in college in Chandigarh, and back then, I remember our college was closed for straight 4-5 days even more than that. And there was such tension in the air. There was political, tension, and then there were followers of DSS who were out there on the road protesting. So there was a lot of turmoil going on around the civil society when he was convicted. So now let's talk about all of these four cases in detail, and we first talk about the murder of the Dera manager Ranjit Singh. So please understand, in July 2002, a Dera manager named Ranjit Singh, he was murdered in Haryana. Next year, in November 2003, the Punjab and Haryana High Court ordered an investigation by the CBI in this particular matter. According to the CBI charge sheet that was subsequently filed, an anonymous letter had been doing the rounds. And in this particular letter, there were accusations leveled against Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh of sexually exploiting sadhvis, that is to say, his women followers inside the Dera premises. So essentially, there was a letter which came in the public front, which allegedly was written and circulated by written by somebody else, but circulated with the aid of Ranjit Singh. In this letter, it was alleged that this person, Gurmeet Ram Rahim, he engages in sexual exploitation of the sadhvis on Dera premises. And later, this particular letter, it was published in a newspaper by this journalist. Hence, his murder was also later done. So, so far, I hope we are clear that the letter was making rounds in the public arena, and as a result, Ranjit Singh was murdered. This was found in the CBI charge sheet. The CBI postulated that Ram Rahim suspected Ranjit Singh of circulating the letter and therefore had him murdered. In October 2021, after such long wait, a special CBI court held the DSS chief and 4 other of his followers guilty of conspiring to murder Ranjit Singh. The special judge denied the CBI's plea to sentence him to death and instead opted for LI, which is life imprisonment, and a fine of rupees 31 lakh, half of which was given to the family of the deceased Ranjit Singh. The 5 convicts, including Ram Rahim, appealed this decision in the High Court of Punjab and Haryana. And now on 28th of May, his conviction along with the others. So all the 5, they are now acquitted. Their convictions have been reversed. Now let's talk about this anonymous letter disclosing the factum of rape with the sadhvis and the eventual conviction in 2017. So the anonymous letter from 2002, it was addressed to the then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and it was written by a person who claimed to be a sadhvi at the Dera for 5 years. She wrote at that the Dera Maharaj, he forced the women there to have sex with him and also threatened them and their families with death if the women did not comply. In September of 2002, the Punjab and Haryana High Court also ordered a CBI investigation in this matter as well. A charge sheet was later filed by the CBI in the year 2007, and the CBI special judge began hearing in this case in October of 2013. And after 4 years of trial, the DSS chief was found guilty on 2 counts of rape and was sentenced to 20 years in prison in August of 2017. The judge also ordered him to pay a fine of rupees 15 lakh to each of these victims. Ram Rahim has appealed against this conviction in the High Court, and the High Court is yet to decide on this particular matter. Now that we are done with the second case, let's talk about the third case of murder of journalist Ramchandra Chhatrapati. Now on October 24th of 2002, all of these instances, they happened in the same year of 2002 because they sparked from the same letter itself. So on October 24, 2002, journalist Ramchandra Chhatrapati, he was shot dead by 2 men on a motorbike outside his residence in Sirsa, Haryana. He had published the anonymous letter about DSS chief exploiting the women in a local Hindi newspaper by the name of Pura Sach. His son approached the High Court in the year 2003 seeking a CBI intervention and investigation by this agency into the case. As a result, the CBI was handed the work or the task of investigating into the matter. In the year 2006, which is 3 years later, the investigation was handed over to the CBI, which filed the charge sheet against the SS chief, and his three followers, namely Kuldeep Singh, Nirmal Singh, and Kishan Lal. Now, the CBI special judge in Panchkula, Haryana, found all these four men guilty of conspiracy to commit murder in November of 2019. So his conviction came about in 2019 and sentenced all these four men, to life imprisonment. An appeal against this decision is still pending at the Punjab and Haryana High Court as well. Now we're left with the fourth case to discuss. So this is about the alleged forced castration of 400 male followers. In July 2012, DSS follower Hansraj Chauhan, he filed a petition at the Punjab and Haryana High Court. He claimed that between the years 1999 and 2000, around 400 men, including himself, they were forced by the DSS leaders and Ram Rahim himself to undergo surgery for the removal of their genitals at the Dera. The Dera chief, he was alleged to have claimed that the castration would lead to realization of God through him. So they were falsely promised that if you do and perform this surgery and remove your genitals, then you will receive a favor of divine nature and character. In December of 2014, the High Court handed over the investigation to the CBI and it remains pending. So this case is at the investigation stage. Now, please note that the case was last heard in April of 2017, and the order indicates that the CBI investigation was still ongoing back in 2017. The counsel appearing for the CBI assured the bench that it would be completed before the next date of hearing, which was posted for 7th of July 2017. However, please note this, there is no record of a hearing taking place on this date or in the following years. This is one of those cases which sort of made me conflicted. It, made me come face to face with the realities of our criminal justice delivery system. We can see all of these cases, they go back to 2002. Just imagine the plight of the victims involved here, their family members. Their entire life is, torn apart. They have nothing but to contest the criminal case. And even after doing so, there is no guarantee of them getting the justice, because we understand that what matters is that you should be in a position to prove your case by leading evidence. And, the judge should have the sufficient material in his hands to decide the case objectively. And that is correct. But, how things play in reality. So it is very difficult at times to prove the case, even if you are on the correct side. So what's sad is that these victims, they may never get the justice that they want and that should have gotten right in time. So now we come to the national news segment for the day. And this is the first update, which is with respect to Cyclone Remal. So the cyclone has now made its landing on the coastal areas of India and Bangladesh. Assam braces for heavy rain, several districts on high alert. Assam districts on high alert due to forecasted heavy to extremely heavy rainfall from Cyclone Remal, and administration urges people to maintain safety measures and set up helpline numbers. The Northeast Frontier Railway cancels 42 trains for 2 days from Monday, which is for Tuesday and Wednesday. Dissolution of Food and Nutrition Board. So next update is with respect to that. Let's understand what is this body, what is the parent organization or ministry concerned here. So the Food and Nutrition Board, which is a technical branch of the Ministry of Women and Child Development, it is responsible for providing logistical support to the community nutrition programs. It has been officially dissolved as part of the government's plan to rationalize various bodies. The decision to discontinue the Food and Nutrition Board, it was taken after the cabinet meeting on April 6, 2022, following recommendations from the Principal Economic Advisor's report on rationalization of government bodies. This was submitted in November of 2020. NHPC, it is honored with the Economic Times HR World Future Ready Organization Award for the year 2024-2025. NHPC, let's understand what is it. It is India's premier hydropower company. It has been bestowed with the prestigious the Economic Times HR World Future Ready Organization Award for 2024-2025. This recognition highlights NHPC's unwavering commitment to fostering a future-ready workforce and its strategic approach to human resource management. So there were a couple of, policies of the company which were conducive to a better work environment in the company, and as a result, the company has gotten the coveted award. Government extends Army Chief General Manoj Pande's tenure by a month. Indian government has extended Army Chief General Manoj Pande's term by 1 month. Appointments Committee of the Cabinet approved the extension beyond his normal retirement age, which was due for 31st of May this year. General Pande, he was appointed on April 30th in 2022 with a term of 3 years or until he attains the age of 62. He turned 62 on 6th of May and was meant to retire at the end of the same month. Jyoti Ratre, she has become India's oldest woman to conquer Mount Everest. Jyoti Ratre, an entrepreneur and fitness enthusiast from Madhya Pradesh, she has etched her name in history by becoming the oldest Indian woman to conquer Mount Everest. Her triumph to the summit of the world's largest peak comes precisely 6 years after another woman showing incredible fiat, Sangeeta Bal, at the age of 53, earned the title of India's oldest woman to climb Mount Everest, and this happened way back in 2010. So the current record holding is by Jyoti Ratre. Now, this has brought us to the important days category, and this is the update here. International Day of Action for Women's Health. The International Day of Action for Women's Health, it fell on Tuesday, yesterday, which is 28th of May. The theme for this year was mobilizing in critical times of threats and opportunities, and it emphasized empowering women to make decisions independently, free from coercion and discrimination. The celebration of this day, it is aimed at enhancing healthcare for women and address crucial issues such as abortion rights, HIV/AIDS, poverty, sexual autonomy, and access to contraceptives. Now, this has brought us to the international segment, and this is the first update. Spain pledges 1 billion in military aid to Ukraine, signs bilateral defense deal. Spain and Ukraine have signed a security deal in Madrid, pledging 1 billion euros in military aid to Ukraine for the year 2024. The pact, it includes a commitment for modern military equipments for various uses, prioritizing Ukraine's key capacity needs and protecting sea routes for Ukraine's food exports. Saudi Arabia names Faisal bin Saud Al-Mejfel as ambassador to Syria. Saudi Arabia, it is appointed Faisal bin Saud Al-Mejfel as ambassador to Syria. It marks first appointment in over a decade. It comes amid thawing relations between Syrian civil war, following the Syrian civil war. Initially, the relationship between both of these countries, it strained back in 2011 due to Saudi Arabia supporting rebel groups. Several diplomatic ties were broken. They were severed in a year later, which was in 2012, leading to closure of Saudi Arabia's embassy in Damascus. Then there were efforts at reconciliation. They began in 2023, last year, with Syria's readmission to the Arab League. Now, Saudi Arabia reopened its embassy, thereby signaling that the relationships are now normalized between the two nations. HCLTech collaborates with ARM to develop custom silicon chip for AI. HCLTech and ARM will collaborate to enhance computing efficiency in data center environments. Pre-integrated ARM Neoverse compute subsystems. It will be used to minimize development risks and deliver market customized solutions, and that too with AI-driven technology. Malaysia Masters PV Sindhu loses to Wang Zi. Two times Olympic medalist PV Sindhu of India failed to win the BWF Malaysia Masters 2024 badminton title. She lost in the women's singles final to Wang Zi, and this happened in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And Sindhu's title drought since July 2022, last win at Singapore Open. Now, this is an important update. So we have an update from the Cannes Film Festival. Payal Kapadia's film, All We Imagine as Light. If you remember, while we discussed about Cannes Film Festival, when it started, we saw how, the highest award at the festival is the Palme d'Or. And we also understood that a couple of our films were nominated for this award, but we've not gotten the award so far. And this year around, All We Imagine as Light, Payal Kapadia's film, it was nominated for the highest award. It has however gotten and won the Grand Prix Award, marking the first Indian filmmaker to win this prestigious award at the 77th edition of the Cannes Film Festival. The film explores the lives of two nurses and was nominated by the highest award at Cannes. The Ministry of Information and Broadcasting grants the film official Indo-French co-production status. The film also receives interim approval of 30% of qualifying co-production expenditure under the Government of India's initiative scheme for official co-productions. Just remember the name of this film, which is All We Imagine as Light. This is by Payal Kapadia. It has won this particular award and it was nominated by the highest award at Cannes. 8-year-old Lavik Jain authors his debut book, which is called Alexandrian Nights. Published by Pirates Publishing under its imprint Quignog, the adventure fantasy Alexandrian Nights. It is Lavik Jain's first step into the fictitious world as one of India's youngest authors. And please understand, he has authored this book, gotten his book published by a prestigious publishing house at the young age of 8 years. Now with this, we come to the legal news update segment, and this is the first update from the Honorable Supreme Court. This is an important update so far as a proposition concerning Limitation Act is concerned. If you've gone through Limitation Act, Section 3 of the Act says that, whenever any appeal, any suit, any application is filed, after the prescribed period is over, then that appeal, application or suit will not be entertained, subject to the provisions of the Limitation Act, that is to say, subject to exclusions and exceptions. So here the Supreme Court has reiterated that it is the duty of the court to see that such appeal, suit or application, if it does not fall under any of these exceptions or exclusions, then that should not be entertained, regardless of whether the defendant has raised the objection of bar of limitation or not. So this is what the Supreme Court has held, that even if the plea of limitation is not set up as a defense, the court has to dismiss the suit if it is barred by limitation. Reversing the findings of the High Court's division bench decision, the bench comprising Justices B.R. Gavai and Sandeep Mehta, upon placing reliance on the case of V.M. Salgaonkar and Bros versus Board of Trustees of Port of Mormugao and another, observed that as per the mandate of Section 3 of the Limitation Act, the court has to dismiss any suit which is instituted after the prescribed period, irrespective of whether this is taken up as a defense by the defendant. The name of this case is S. Shivraj Reddy, died through his legal representatives, and another versus Raghuraj Reddy and others. So this has brought us to an end of DNA. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day ahead.